Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So in the title, you can obviously tell what this episode is going to be about. Basically, we are removing all 4 of my gyres from this tank and replacing them with MP-40s. Now, there's a lot of reasons to do so, but the main reason that I've noticed is because, number one, I'm not getting a lot of growth in the middle of my tank. For example, if we were to look at this left side, I have a good amount of stick growth, large, just fatter colonies, and same thing with this end. I got these big colonies here. I mean, this side's a little bit less just because I have hammers and stuff, but big colonies all around, except for this middle right here. Previously with the gyres, I didn't get a lot of movement, as you'll see with some B-roll footage. I just didn't have a whole lot of growth, unfortunately. I actually had a lot of stick death also. You can actually see right here what I had a little bit of an STN event. So I almost lost this little coral right here, which I'm really glad I didn't because it looks super awesome. But to cut to the chase, I didn't have a lot of good growth here at the front of the tank, unfortunately. And as the other corals around the side start growing out, it was becoming a lot more evident. So we've gone ahead and decided to change these out to the MP-40s, and I'm going to give you a bunch of reasons of why I'm going to do so. So the first reason I'm going to get rid of these gyres and switch them over to the MP-40s is because of the type of wave that it creates. So with these gyres, you get, as you can see, they're very long, they're very flat. They shoot a very flat sheet of water, which is what a lot of people mention. It's flat, it's gentle, and it provides a lot of coverage to the tank, which is really great. Now, as my tank grows out, I've realized I don't quite need that. I need maybe something a little bit stronger, just because that flat sheet of wave, just like, for example, in the ocean, it gets cut down a lot when it hits all of these corals. And thus, I'm not able to get a lot of flow into this center area, and it becomes very stagnant, which is obviously not what you want when you have sticks. Now, in the case of the MP-40s, these are more like a jet of water, so it's very focused in the front and it shoots a very long stream. And I feel like in this case, it's actually a lot better, as you'll be able to get waves, going all the way to the middle. You see here right in the center, I do have a lot more movement than I did with the previous gyres. You'll be able to see in the B-roll here that I'm getting a lot more movement now, mostly in the hammer department. So definitely I'm getting, the gyres to be able to, not the gyres, the MP-40s to be able to push the flow far enough so that the corals here in the center are receiving enough to extend their polyps, expel their waste, and, just grow a whole lot better. Now, the number 2 reason I'm trying to switch out from the gyres to the MP-40s is these guys right here. So I am absolutely sick of cords. Cords in the tank are the bane of my existence. For example, if I was to close this right now, cords are in the way. There's just no getting around it. And people say, hey, maybe you could just cut off the corner. Doesn't really work. These cords are too thick. They're really not bendy. They're kind of just in the way. They're very ugly. And I will just be so absolutely happy to get rid of them. Also, these magnets here on top, I will say they haven't been much of a hindrance. Obviously, it's a little dirty right now because I haven't wiped it in a little bit. But to be able to get this off of the Euro brace and just having a very clean, flat area is just going to look so much better. I'm really excited to get rid of these just for almost that purpose alone. But, having the tank be completely wireless and just having, just the head here and the remainder of the MP-40s maybe in the back, I feel like it'll just make the tank look so much cleaner, which is absolutely perfect. Now, last but not least, the third reason that I am switching out from the Gyres to the MP-40s is just because I am just so sick of cleaning these Gyres. So I don't know about some of the other ones. I've only ever had the Red Sea ones, which, like I mentioned, they work absolutely great, but cleaning these is an absolute pain in the butt. So you have to remove this portion to get into the the propeller inside. And to actually remove them, you have to take the whole thing out. So you can't, for example, like an MP-40, just switch out the head really fast. To service these Gyres, you do have to take the whole thing out. And also, I do notice when you get even a little bit of film on the little impellers on the inside, it slows down flow so significantly in a tank that I can visually see that they're clogged because I just don't get a lot of movement in this tank. So it becomes super evident. And when a tank like this, where it needs, a lot of flow in order to survive, I don't want that to happen. I don't want, anything to slow down for any of these corals and not to be able to breathe and, do their whole little photosynthesizing thing. And having to clean these repeatedly, or even if I would say more often than I would an MP-40, I'm kind of over it. It's to me kind of not worth it. Maybe if I had a shorter tank or maybe it was easier to access, it wouldn't be such a big deal. But yeah, these have been an absolute pain in the butt to clean. So I'm super happy to be able to switch to MP-40s, where I'll be able to just rip out this head, put another one, and it's good to go. So basically, we're going to be, removing all of these Gyres. So far from the MP-40s I've been able to add, the flow looks good. I even have one more MP-40 to add, but at this point, I don't know if I need it, but I'm going to add it anyways. Just to, might as well add more flow, because why the heck not? But so far, we have just the one here on the side. This one here on the side, interestingly, as you can see, my torches are still moving really great, which is the exact same as when I had two of these Gyres on one side. The torches, toadstools here, for example, all still doing great. So I could almost say, for example, that one MP-40 equates to two Gyres in some ways, just because I'm still getting the exact same type of flow. My torches are flowing, my toads are flowing. It looks almost exactly the same, but I'm only using one plug and one pump. Very interesting. Now the other two are going to be in this back right here. I have one just shooting straight into the front of the tank to provide some, flow here, provide some flow to the toads, the hammers here. And then I have another one in this back corner here, just pushing flow, hitting that corner and then going outwards. So as of right now, it looks pretty darn good. I am definitely getting the flow I feel like I do require. A lot of the coral, for example, that do have their polyps out, they're nice and wavy, which is perfect, exactly what you would be looking for. And hopefully, in the near future, we can come back to see if it did improve any of the growth in the center here. But that is it for today's episode. Thank you, as always, for joining me. Let me know what you think about, doing this full switch out to MP-40s. But yeah, let me know in the comments. Love you guys as always, and I'll see you on the next episode. Peace.